Pandemic side effects, creating life patterns.
Is there any point in taking time to create during a pandemic? Hi, I'm Dr. KP McKee, founder and executive of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center.
And I am Ariel McKee, PhD. I inverted it because it rhymes.
Nicely done. And as we enjoy visiting with one another, we would also love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions, you can enter them in your comment box on your mobile device or computer. And for today, you will need just a few supplies, very basic ones. You want to point them out to us, Ariel?
A pencil.
With an eraser.
A pen.
Yep.
Probably without an eraser. A Sharpie.
Yes, and that can be interchangeable, whichever you want.
Scissors. Paper.
Yes, at least 2 sheets. All right, so I believe you were going to talk about the benefits of creating.
Yes. So the benefits of creating are at least fourfold. First, they include problem solving. So by creating, sometimes things go awry and you have to figure out how to solve that problem, and often that makes something new and exciting. Also, expression of and boosting to your self-esteem. You're expressing something of yourself, and you may create something that you are proud of, that you feel strongly about, get to share it with someone who tells you how much it means to them, etc. Which 3, circling back, self-expression. And then 4, emotional balance. It helps us sometimes to find a place of peace, or a place where some of the imbalancing emotional forces are quieted for a bit. Do you want to do creating patterns?
Well, since I mixed you up and you just...
I wasn't going to say anything.
So impressed with you and your balance. So how about if I start us off and then you can step in the one that you talked about? So we were going to talk also about the importance of creating patterns, because we're going to be doing some patterning today. And first of all, it works our brain muscles, especially the more challenging ones. And we're going to go from simple to more challenging later. It develops our fine muscle control as we're working with our pens and pencils. And it appeals to our need for emotional balance. Thank you, David. And as well as our need for beauty. And you were going to talk about the last one a little bit?
And also, creating patterns also helps us think about ways that we can pattern things in our lives. And it's really helpful to have rituals, like something you do before you go to bed, to remind your body and your mind that you're moving into a rest time. We've been hearing a lot during the pandemic and in an earlier Facebook Live about how important it is to stick to a schedule, even if you are in your own space instead of going to an office. And so this is a way to sort of think about the patterns of your life as well. And I did this because my brain was flexing its muscles, but I realized it just looked kind of like
devil horns.
I was going to say antennae.
We know a little bit more about all 3 of us now.
Yep.
And with that, we have a resource sheet on our website, and we can put it on Facebook too, with just some ideas about how to create a pattern and a ritual for your day that could help with that need for our emotional balance. And there are just a few ideas there, and we would love to hear back from you if you have some ideas too. So we're just going to jump right in here with some pattern practice. And Ariel, who is our talented student, but not really, example giver.
I like it.
Going to do
I like it.
As we go along.
I'm prepared.
All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold a sheet of paper in half along the long edge, like a greeting card. And then fold it in half again. One more time.
All right.
So now we have 8 sections. And in each section, we're going to do a design. And if you wish, you can do it first in pencil and then go over it with your pen or your Sharpie. If you would like to do that, Ariel's just going to dive right in with the Sharpie because she's going to be very brave. Save us some time. So we're going to start out very simple, and then we're going to build on these simple designs that we started. So just circles. So we're just drawing circles first in this very top section of our paper that we folded. So you opened it up, and you're going to use each section now to draw a design. And I'm hearing our cat, and it just reminds me that last week we talked about play, and she came out and played with us, but I did not think specifically to say that's a great way to play, is if you have pets. All right, nicely done. And then we're going to do mountains and valleys, just like this. So just think about creating one arch after another. I guess more mountaintop than an arch.
I was just thinking it's also like Charlie Brown's
T-shirt. Excellent. All right, Ariel has come along on that. And now we're doing two wavy lines that kind of look like, I would think, a stream or a river. Kind of that nice flow to them. Very nice. Now we're going to do two horizontal lines across our paper, and then the slash line at an angle like we see on our computers when we're typing in the slash on your keyboard.
So we're backslashing it.
We are backslashing all the way across the paper.
Although I guess I could have forward slashed it if I wanted.
Yes, you could, because you're just kind of getting in the idea of what we're going to do next, because the very last one is the most involved. All right, now we're going to build on those skills, and for the next one, do those circles and turn them into bullseyes. So a circle, a smaller circle inside, and a dot in the very middle all across the page.
Love a Sharpie sound.
I like it too. And I did this with a group from the organization Age, and they were saying these look like they were eyes to them. And to me, they look like very surprised eyes, like this.
So I guess if you wanted, you could add some eyelashes or eyebrows up here.
Yeah, maybe a mouth going, whatever would make you happy. All right, we're going to do the Charlie Brown shirt again. And this time, we're going to do dots between the mountain peaks and directly underneath it, like this. So imagine these are like the moon between the mountains, and maybe a bush at the bottom of the mountain, right directly beneath the apex. Yeah, just like that. Oh, so excellent. All right. Now we are taking that stream, and we're going to do it not 2 streams, but 4. So 4 wavy lines. And when we do that, it creates a space between the 2 middle lines that we can then color in. And Ariel, you can maybe just hashtag it in, whatever will go more quickly, just to give us the idea, because we can see it here.
It looks kind of like bacon.
I see that. Thank you for that new way of looking.
You're welcome.
All right, last but certainly not least, and do this one at whatever level feels comfortable to you. So you have your 2 long horizontal lines. Then instead of just the slashes, we're going to do X's that connect. When we do that, they create these diamonds. And if you like, you can fill those in.
I should have spaced out my X's, made it bigger. But please note that they all live in Texas.
Nice.
I can't make many country music jokes, but okay, so this and then color it in.
And then you can color it in. And do you want to color it in and I'll cut these apart?
Sure.
All right. So our next step after we have made our design is we're going to turn these into threads and do a weaving, because weaving is also a way to pattern, and it's also therapeutic and restorative to do. And you may not have been doing any paper weaving since you were in elementary school, so it's time. You will want to pick the ones of these that most appeal to you, because you're not going to have room to do them all.
And voila.
And in a minute, I'm going to give you these scissors back so you can do the next bit.
Okay.
This is also something I enjoy, just the feel of the scissors moving through the paper and the rhythm of that. Because rhythm is another pattern, yeah. And you can tell that you kind of get a rhythm going with your scissors when you're cutting.
That would be a good white noise machine, just art supplies. Pencils, cutting.
We could create that.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps that could be an app we do.
Some sort of soothing meditation.
All right, so we have these. All right, now Ariel's going to make us a weaving loom. So these are our threads, and now we're going to make our loom. So you're again going to cut, you're going to fold the paper in half along the long edge like a greeting card. And then you want to draw a line with your pencil or pen along this edge just to remind yourself to stop your scissors before they get to that line. Very nicely done. That's a good thought. Ariel folded it over so she could see where to draw the line. Or if you have a ruler or a straight edge, you can do it that way. Now you're going to be cutting from the fold to this line. Does it have to be straight?
It does not.
No.
It can be wavy or spiky or all sorts of things.
Yeah. And this way, everyone's is completely unique. And of course, this would be a great activity to do with the family too, and everyone do their own thing. Go for it.
I don't know if I made that hard on myself or not.
You got this. All right, now you open it up and you have your weaving loom. And as we know with weaving, it is in itself a pattern of over, under, over, under. So Ariel's going to pick one of these to start with and slide it
I'm going to start under.
under and then over. So you're going to go, each time you see a cut, you're either going to be going over and under. And the idea here is that when you are finished, you're going to have a funky looking checkerboard kind of pattern going. And while she's doing that, I'm going to just lay out a couple that are already done.
And since I started this one under, I'm going to start the next one over. Alternate.
That's right. So every other line is going to be opposite. So the first and third would start out the same way, and the second and fourth, and so on. And the nice thing about paper weaving is, if you look at it and you go, something is not right, you can go back and check two things. One, did I go over and under just every other one, or did I do two at a time? And if that's not the case, did I do two rows in a row that were the same, like over, under, and then over, under, instead of the second one being under, over, under. So you can see here, I started out on top with the first row, so I went underneath on the second, on top with this net row, underneath with this one, on top and underneath. And if you happen to have glue or a glue stick, you can always glue the ends of these once you're finished to secure them, but they stay in pretty well just as they are. Which one would you like me to hand you?
I think bullseye.
All right.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And you can think about, like with this one, I thought, you know what, I'd like to have something that's linear all the way and then bracketed by something that's also linear all the way. So that you can think about maybe using the two outside ones as your frame for what's going on the inside.
And another nice thing about about paper weaving, unlike fabric weaving, is that if you make a mistake with a row, you can slip out just that slip of paper and fix it, which is good to get kids started if you do it with beam one, because they'll learn the rhythm but not feel super frustrated.
That's such a good point too, because once you're doing regular weaving, it's much more involved to do this. So this is more forgiving.
Yes.
Yeah. And once you have this concept down, this is basically what weaving is. All kinds of weaving are basically this pattern of over, under, over, under. We create the designs by doing that in different ways.
Probably should have cut this a little bit further in.
And we're not all just staring at you here.
An important thing.
I wanted to share with you all, as Ariel's finishing up here, that in the age class I taught, one of the participants suggested doing the patterns on the loom and then weaving plain strips through. So I did that here. So that's a very different look, and one I really like too. So you have lots of options. And I mean, you could just get really into it and do everything and just see. I was wondering, like, if you did all the strips with some kind of a circular thing, and then the weaving loom with kind of line things, how that would look together.
And maybe like one of them black and white and the other one with just one color.
Oh, that would be cool too. So we would love for you to try this out and send
Please
us.
share them and tag us
Yes, yes.
on the Instagram, the Twitters, or the Facebooks, or all three.
That would be fantastic. We'd love to see that. So if you like this, if you found it helpful, please do like it on Facebook. And also you can rewatch on Facebook, YouTube, or on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. We also have a prayer wall there and ways to sign up for our Young Artists Club and our online camp. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to be back in August with a whole new series. Let's close with prayer. You are the creator of night and morning, of changing seasons, of ripples on a lake and veins on a leaf. You are the creator of musical rhythm and poetic meter, of our need for balance and our capacity to create patterns. You fill our need for beauty, harmony, and self-expression. Thank you. Amen.